Hello guys, my name is Dogo Shavani. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing C++ and I will be explaining to you the difference between semantic errors and syntax errors. So I want you to pay attention. So I'm gonna put it as a comment. We will have semantic and syntax. We have semantic and syntax errors. So today's topic is about semantics errors and syntax errors. Let me put that. And syntax errors. So if in an exam you are asked which error is it, which error you okay, if in an exam you are asked which error that is on the program given below or above, and then you will be able to know, or you will be able to differentiate between semantic errors and syntax errors. Okay guys, so now remember, most of the time we declare variables and initialize them if you have to. So now I'm going to start with the semantic error. I'm going to start with the semantic error. So now we have a semantic error if you run a program and it does not run. That's a semantic error. So I'm going to say int age and then terminate and then say double, then say wait, how much do you weigh, and then leave it like that, and then go to see out. Remember we are doing now syntax error. Okay, let me erase this. Syntax error, you have it something like that. Now we say and then you say see out hello world, and then say see out put in the commas, say see out put in your age, and then leave a space. Put it like this, and then terminate, and then say C in age, C in, but C in must be like this, C in age, and then leave it like that, and then go to C out end line because you want to skip a line, end line, terminate. Now C out C out, then say put in your weight, then space, colon, and then terminate, and then say C in wait, terminate, and run the program. So we will run the program. If it runs correctly, we will see here, and if there are errors, now those will be syntax errors. They will be displayed here. Now let me go and run it. I think if you understand C++, you've already noticed some errors, and I made those errors in purpose so that we will have syntax errors. So I made those errors intentionally. And the program will not run because we have errors, and then those are syntax errors. If there are syntax errors, you do not the program will not run. We won't get any output. So now this is the syntax error, this one: expected initializer before cout. You must initialize. So now what is needed here before the cout? Then the error is here before the cout. What's the error there? What's the syntax error that you see? We were supposed to terminate. We forgot to put termination sign. You see, that's a syntax error. Now no program will run if you have this error. That's a syntax error. And run again, we'll find another one. And I'm sure you've seen it. Let's wait for it. Okay, here we go. On line 13, syntax error expected termination. We need to terminate again here. You see the syntax error. So we need to terminate. The program will not run if you have syntax errors. And sometimes in an exam we will find that the syntax errors are there because they are missing termination signs, right? So now the program will run properly because now I've corrected all the syntax errors. Now the next thing that we're going to do, or that we're going to talk about, is semantic errors. Now we're going to talk about semantic errors. Semantic errors, the program will run, but the output will not be the expected output. The output will not be the expected output. So now here are the results for this program. Remember, whenever you run a program, it starts here, and then it reads that there will be input and output. There is no string, okay? There is no mathematics or anything like that. And then it's going to use std namespace, and then it comes here int, and then it creates a space for age is an integer data type, and then weight is a double data type. Remember, a double must have a comma, then an int cannot have a comma, a number with a comma, right? So now say cout hello world. The program is running, right? Now cout, put in your age, and then what's your age? 10. Cout, put in your weight, 15 comma, okay, 1,5. That's it, right? So now let us focus onto the second error, which is called semantic errors. Semantic errors I've already explained. That are those errors that you find after you have run the program and then it runs properly, but now the outputs are not the expected output. So now say you have an int as an age, and you have a double as a weight, and then now we are going to initialize them. Say double is equal to 15 comma 4, and then say the age. I am 10 years, but I have 2 months. That's 2 comma 10 comma 2, and then say equal to, that's the age is equal to 10 comma 2 the w weight is equal to this, right? So now what we are doing, we are initializing our variables, and then the program will run properly. But I think you have noticed that now when int has a comma and a number after a comma, which is not supposed, only a double can have a number and a comma and the floating numbers, but now in int it cannot have that, because it's supposed to be just one number, just like a character. And then say we have another one, is the car name, and then put my name, Tokozo. You see, that's fine. But now a character must be just one character, not a string. This is a string. The program will run, but it's not going to make sense, right? It's not going to make sense. So now I'm going to say cout hello world, put in your age, and say because now I've already initialized everything, there's no need for me to say cin to prompt a user to put the data, because everything is initialized. So which means I can come here and say, after I have the space, and say okay, age, it's going to take 10.2, put it here, age, and then terminate, because there is this end line here. And again here I can just remove all this and say wait and terminate. Now the program will run, and then say your name, put your age, put your, and then end line after this, and no, cout end line, and then output cout, enter your name, enter, no, that's not enter, enter your name, enter your name, and say name, terminate. So now this should run properly, unless there are syntax errors, but I don't think there's any, and then send to 0. So the program is running. Let's wait. Now we know if it does not run, which means there is a syntax error. But if it runs, okay, there's a syntax error, was not displayed in the scope. Oh, I'm supposed to put these commas. It's a character, I must have commas like this. Let's run and see if there's any syntax error. If there is none, then we will have a semantic errors. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the open token there. Run again. So those are all syntax errors, and then up until you get the code running properly, and then when the program is running properly, you will have the semantic errors where you do not get the output that you expected. So now we expect our code to say hello world. Okay, let me take this down. So now there's no more syntax errors. We expect our output to say hello world, then end line goes to the next line, and then put in your age, and then it goes to take that 10.2 and then put here, and then says end line and goes to the next line, and then say put in your weight, and then it goes straight, take that 15.2, put it here, then end line goes to the next line, cout, enter your name, and then go straight, take the name, which is in toggle, and then put here, and then that's it. So now let us look at the output. Hello world, okay, is there as expected. Put in your age, is there as expected. But now the age that is declared there, the age which is initialized, is 10.2. but the age that you see on the output screen is 10. What happened to that 0.2? You see, it's not 10.2, it's just 10. Now there is a semantic error. You made a semantic error. You're supposed to say int. So if this was you're supposed to say double. If this was a double, then you are going to get 10.2 in your output. So now you get 10 because you made a semantic error. You said age is an int. It can't be an int if it's going to have a number and a comma and a number after the comma. Right? Okay. Now let's go to the car. Let's go to the character. And then you put in your age. Okay, that's 10. Now there is no 2. Put in your weight. That's 15.4. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. It's okay to be 15.4 because it's a double. Now enter your name 0. There is no name. You see why? Because this one here was supposed to be a string, not a character, a string. But the program ran properly. The program said there is no error. Wow, there is no error. That's correct. But there is no syntax error. The only errors that we have are semantic errors. So the outputs are not what we were expecting, but the program is running. So that's the difference between the semantic error and the syntax error, right? So now we can fix those by saying, okay, this is supposed to be double because there's a comma, double. And then here it's supposed to be, what is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be string. But remember, a string, before you put a string, it must be first put up here using pre-directive hash include, and then say string as a header file. You must save it as a header file. String. Then now you will have the desired output. Now we will have the desired output. Now that we have corrected our semantic errors. It's not easy to spot semantic errors because the program will run and you will think everything is correct, but now the output will not be as expected. That's when you realize that you have made some semantic errors. Okay, now it makes sense. Hello world, there is hello world. Put in your age, and then age is 10.2. Put in your age, that's 10.2. You see, it's not just 10, it's 10.2 because we changed the error. Put in your weight, and then it's 15.2. Okay, enter your name, and then there it is, Togozo. The name is Togozo. Now we fixed the semantic errors. Okay guys, I hope you found this tutorial useful, and thanks again. Remember to share and hit the what is that button? Okay, hit the button down there. Subscribe. Bye.